Imagine 60,000 people moving as one, across the Sahara, draped in silk, carrying enough gold to blind the sun. The year is 1324. A king is walking to Mecca. But this is no ordinary king. And this is no ordinary walk. His name is Mansa Musa. And what is about to happen will alter the course of human history. Before Europe had banks, before the Renaissance, before the Ottoman Empire reached its height, there was Mali, the richest empire the world has ever known. The story begins long before Musa, in the grasslands of West Africa, where the Mandinka people built a kingdom called Kingaba, along the banks of the Niger River, in the heart of a continent, overflowing with gold. But it was one man who would forge them into an empire. His name was Sundiata Keita, the Lion Prince. And his story begins not with glory, but with the ground. The oral traditions say he was a crippled child who could not walk. His enemies laughed. His own people doubted. Then, at the age of 7, he grabbed an iron rod, bent it straight, and stood up, and never looked down again. At the Battle of Karina in 1235, Sundiata defeated the mighty Sasso Empire. The Mali Empire was born. He established the Bara, one of the world's oldest legislative assemblies. Mali was not just a kingdom of gold. It was a kingdom of law, order, and ideas. By 1240, Sundiata controlled every major gold and salt trade route across the Sahara. Half the world's gold passed through Mali's hands. In 1312, a new king took the throne. His name was Mansa Musa I. Mansa, meaning king of kings. And he would take everything Sundiata built and multiply it beyond imagination. Economists who have tried to calculate his wealth place it at approximately $400 billion in today's money. That makes him the single richest individual in all of human history. Richer than Rockefeller, richer than Bezos, richer than any king or queen Europe ever produced. Under Musa, Mali controlled over half the world's gold supply and nearly all of its salt. His kingdom stretched across 2 million square kilometers, larger than Western Europe. But Musa was not just a collector of gold. He was a builder, a visionary. He turned his empire into the intellectual center of the world. The city of Timbuktu became the Oxford of the medieval world. The Sankore University attracted 25,000 students. Over 1 million manuscripts were written there, covering medicine, astronomy, mathematics, law, and philosophy. While London barely had a university, Timbuktu had 3. He commissioned the Great Djinguereber Mosque, still standing today. Its architect Abu Ishaq al-Sahili was brought all the way from Spain. Musa paid him 200 kilograms of gold for a single commission. In 1324, Musa decided to make the Hajj, the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, and he decided to do it in a way that no human being had ever done anything before. With him, 60,000 men, 12,000 servants, each carrying 4 pounds of solid gold bar, 80 camels, each loaded with 300 pounds of gold dust, heralds carrying golden staffs walking ahead of him, his own horse draped in gold cloth. The procession stretched so far across the desert. People at the front could not see the end. When he arrived in Cairo, he was generous, dangerously generous. He gave gold to every beggar he passed. He gifted gold to mosques, to merchants, to strangers on the street. He spent and gave away so much gold in just a few weeks that gold became worthless. Prices across North Africa and the Middle East collapsed into hyperinflation. Merchants who had saved their whole lives found their savings worth nothing. Cairo, one of the greatest trading cities in the world, took 12 years to recover. The shockwaves reached Europe. By 1375, Mansa Musa appeared on the Catalan Atlas, a crown on his head, a nugget of gold raised in his hand. European cartographers had no choice. They had to acknowledge a king so powerful, so rich, that he had broken the entire world economy with his generosity. Musa died around 1337. He had reigned for just 25 years. But in those 25 years, he had built a world. His successors could not hold it together. Weak rulers, internal conflict, Tuareg invasions from the north. The empire that had controlled half the world's gold slowly fractured, piece by piece, until by 1600, the Mali Empire had ceased to exist. The libraries of Timbuktu were threatened. Scholars fled. Manuscripts were hidden by families who understood what was being lost. Buried in desert sand, sealed in clay pots, carried across rivers in the night. Today, over 1 million of those manuscripts survive. The Ahmed Baba Institute in Timbuktu works to preserve them. They are proof of something the world spent centuries trying to deny: that Africa was never the dark continent of colonial imagination. It was a continent of light. The Mali Empire lasted 300 years. Mansa Musa reigned for 25. In that time, he built universities when Europe was in the Dark Ages. He funded science when others burned books. He gave away gold when kings hoarded it. This is the empire they forgot to teach you about. Now you know.